The family of 18-year-old Savannah Soto now has to plan 2 funerals, Savannah's and her unborn baby. Police believe they found Savannah, who was pregnant, dead in a car on the city's northwest side.
The medical examiner has confirmed the man who was also inside that car was Matthew Guerra, Savannah's boyfriend. Police also revealed the couple had gunshot wounds. Now Soto's family is planning to honor her today with a vigil at Kenwood Park. It's a special location for the family. A tree is planted there in honor of Soto's 15-year-old brother, Ethan. The family hosted a vigil at the park last year, right after he was killed.
Unreal. You never think like, oh, you're gonna have to go through this, but sometimes life just hits you in the wrong ways, and this is where it takes you. Unfortunately, it's very sad.
Eagles Flight Advocacy and Outreach is helping Soto's family. They're asking for grocery gift cards or non-perishables to be donated at Kim's Closet, that's on Blanco Road. We're also hearing from family of Soto's boyfriend, Matthew Guerra. His family getting the news from police that no parent ever wants to hear. Guerra's parents say he was excited about becoming a dad.
Matthew would have talks with the last 2-3 months, what kind of changes he wanted to make, what kind of dad he wanted to be, what kind of sports he wanted Fabian in. Just excited.
Matthew's father, Gabriel, admitted his son did not always make the best decisions. Matthew had charges of unlawful carry, evading arrest, and a domestic assault charge from last Christmas. His father went on to say his son would not kill Savannah or the baby. This is a story that we're learning more about each and every day, and police are still calling it perplexing at this time. Officers have not released a lot of details so far, so there has not been any arrest or suspect information released in their deaths.
The body of a woman found inside a ditch on the city's southeast side yesterday, and this morning the Bexar County's medical examiner's office is working to identify her. San Antonio police say she was discovered in a ditch in the 8800 block of Pecan Valley by someone who was just walking by. The ME's office tells us that the woman is 38 years old.
A woman is dead and 2 others recovering after a fire tore through a home on southeast Bexar County. It happened early morning yesterday on Trout Lane, that's near South Presa Street, and Old Corpus Christi Road. Crews say the 62-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the scene. Other 2 people who were inside the home are in the hospital. We're still working to learn how they're doing at this time, and crews don't know how that fire started.
Now to the crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border. Leaders in Mexico last night announcing that they have a new strategy aimed at alleviating the situation. Decision made as border officials brace for record-high migrant crossings. ABC's Rachel Bade explains the new strategy and what to expect.
Mexican officials unveiling a new task force to address the migrant surge at the U.S.-Mexico border, a move that comes after U.S. officials pressed the nation to do more to stem the crisis. Sources telling ABC News that U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas pushed Mexico to step up immigration enforcement within their country, help reopen ports of entry, and encourage migrants to stay in Mexico. Mexico's Foreign Affairs Minister heeding that request, telling reporters after the meeting that as part of the new task force, Mexico will regularly meet with countries in Central and Latin America. The next meeting will be in January. One senior U.S. administration official telling ABC News that the U.S. is pleased with what Mexico proposed. The news coming as overwhelmed border officials brace for the arrival of this caravan, a group that's estimated to top 6,000 migrants. The month of December is on track to have the highest number of apprehensions ever, according to CBP officials. Some days they predict could even reach 10,000. Elsewhere in the U.S., Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott continues to infuriate Democratic mayors by sending migrants to their own cities, all on the taxpayer dime. New York City Mayor Eric Adams rebuking him.
To stop the games and use of migrants as political pawns. We need the state and federal government's help in resettling and supporting the 68,000 migrants still in our care, as well as those who are on their way and those yet to come.
Mexican leaders also told U.S. officials that they'll crack down on smuggling. Meanwhile, back here in the United States, a sweeping bipartisan border bill remains stuck in Congress. Rachel Bade, ABC News, Washington.
A man involved in a police chase in Houston waking up in jail this morning. It all began when the driver, who was in an 18-wheeler, was parked in the main lanes of the interstate. An officer pulled up behind it, turned on his lights. The driver drove off slowly. That led to a chase. Police had to use stop sticks. Finally hit a couple of tires. The truck eventually came to a stop. Driver refused to get out. When all was said and done, a tactical team had to pull him out. The driver was taken away for medical attention and charges are pending.
North Texas high school soccer coach was arrested and accused of using a school credit card at a Houston strip club. J.D. Bales was arrested last week and charged with theft of property. Bales resigned back in September after the Bridgeport ISD discovered charges of $5,400 at a men's club in Houston while Bales was attending a coach's clinic. This isn't the first issue Bales ran into while coaching. Last spring, 6 of his student athletes were suspended and arrested on misdemeanor hazing charges.
Pizza Hut delivery drivers in California are going to be out of a job soon. The company made the business decision to lay off all delivery driver positions by the end of February. More than 1,200 employees will be affected. The job cuts will take place before California's minimum wage jumps in April from $16 an hour to $20 an hour.